Now, we've been talking about the Xbox One Maverick, that's the code name for it, for a while now, actually. We originally heard about this, I think, at the end of last year. Really, people were talking about it. And then it's kind of taken shape now to the point where we actually have images of the thing, a possible price, a release date, and when we even expect to have it revealed, like actually revealed. So you may have seen this going around online over the past, I'd say 24 hours, and that is a leak of the Xbox One S All Digital, or the Xbox One SAD. That's probably one of the best abbreviations I've ever seen, right, is having that. But this is actually from WinFuture. And they had a full leak of the retail and everything for it, the pricing, images of the system, which here it is. It appears to look exactly like the Xbox One S minus the disk drive, which is kind of funny. But I mean, I guess if it's easier for them to keep the same dimensions and just ship it without that disk drive in there, which I'll get one here, we'll open it up and see if they literally just took the disk drive out. They didn't change anything about the motherboard and just shipped it. Right? They have it written in the firmware where it doesn't have to look for the disk drive or anything. That's very possible. But we'll take a look at it when it comes out, because that'll be interesting to see if they changed anything inside. So it appears to be pretty much the same dimensions, same looks and everything, just no disk drive, right? And that's going to be a weird thing for some people to see. It apparently is going to come with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon 3. I don't know why it's not Horizon 4. I mean, Horizon 3 is a good game, but, like, why not Horizon 4? That's the newest one. I mean, they have Sea of Thieves in there, and that's a fairly newer first-party game from them when compared to some other ones. But, like, Horizon 3, Minecraft is an easy one. That makes sense. But Minecraft on everything, right? So this is the system here with the box art and everything. They got some box shots of it, and it looks kind of how you would expect it to essentially look after we had it described to us as being the same as an Xbox One S, just without the disk drive. It is interesting that they removed the disk drive, though, and if the price here holds up, which I have quite a bit to say about the pricing, if the pricing here holds up and it is around $250 US, that is a massive mistake on Microsoft's part. That would make no sense to me, and I don't think that would do well. The thing would be like dead on arrival, pretty much. So this appears to be launching May 7th, which means we would need an announcement on Tuesday, which is Inside Xbox on the 16th, and that's when I'd expect it. But this Xbox currently has a leaked price of 229 euros, which would place that at about 260 US dollars, but 250, 260. And there's a lot here with this pricing, because this is a leaked price. It's not from Microsoft or anything, so we don't know if this is necessarily a correct price. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times pricing is different between regions, and it's not necessarily a straight conversion from, from euros to US dollars or where else in the world. It depends on a lot of things going on with exchange rates and shipping and tax. Like, for example, usually the prices there, I believe this site is based out of, I think, Germany. But if it's in Europe, a lot of times they'll include tax in their prices. For example, there might even be some kind of import tax, or who knows there. But a lot of times their systems end up being a bit more expensive than in, like, the US, for example, even after conversions and everything. So I think there is still a possibility that this could be a $200 system. If it's anything more than $200 in, like, the US, for example, then there's no point in putting this thing out, is what I'll say. Some people wanted 150. I don't think they'd be able to get it down to 150. I think it'd be great if they could, but I just don't see that. The thing that's crazy about this situation is they are removing the one thing that gives this system some serious value outside of the US. They're removing the 4K Ultra, the 4K Ultra UHD Blu-ray drive. Like, they were just removing it, which is something that a lot of people would actually point out as being a good value with this system. I mean, an actual, like, 4K Blu-ray player is still fairly expensive, more so than you'd think. Like, DVD players dropped pretty quickly in price over time, whereas those 4K Blu-ray players, a good one, is still kind of pricey. Whereas the Xbox One S is not that pricey anymore. In fact, if you're on Amazon, here's, for just as a quick example, it took me, like, a minute to find this one. Battlefield 5 bundle, whether you like Battlefield 5 or not, you understand it's, a fairly newer game that has some value to it. That's at $232.85 on Amazon. They'll prime ship that thing to your house in like 2 days. One day if you're lucky for the shipping, and some people can get it that same day with a drone that is terrifying and will drop it off to your door. But that's marked down from 300. And I'm going to explain to you what's going on here, because I've worked in retail, and I worked to the point where I would order stuff from Microsoft for like smaller businesses. I'm gonna tell you what happens here with these things and why you always see this. We always see a big number and then it's always marked down, right? Well, Microsoft is interesting. They dropped the price on the Xbox One S a while ago, and people don't know this because they don't really advertise it. But if you ever are in front of like a wholesale sheet and you look at it, they actually rebate the stores. So you order it and then they will actually rebate you later on. They used to only do that for like Black Friday, but they do that a lot more now for bundles that I think just sit around. And that could be that the wholesalers get those rebates from Microsoft and they pass them on to the smaller mom and pop stores. It's getting harder and harder because there's less mom and pop stores, obviously, but that's how they would do this. And that's why you see this a lot. Amazon probably gets even better deals. Obviously, this thing's $67 off. So it's not uncommon to see these things marked down. That's why you see them all the time, because Microsoft will actively do that with rebates. So let's say this Xbox One S. Oh, by the way, there's also, Anthem is $250. Anthem's not a great game, but it's still a very new game. There's NBA 2K19 for $220, 1 terabyte. So this at $250 makes absolutely 0 sense. I would not understand why that would be, unless it is $250 and then they do this thing where they mark it down, $50 to $60, and all of a sudden it's $190. Even that was a Black Friday price at one point for these things. So I would expect, and I don't think it's still like, I think a lot of people think this is locked in at $250 or $260 when they announced it on Tuesday. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think it's still possible, absolutely, but I think there is a possibility. I actually think it's like 50-50. I think there's a chance that they come out and they're like, it's $199.9 and it's in stores first week of May and you can go pick it up, which we will. But I think there's a chance that we're seeing a price that's throwing a lot of people off right now, and that there's a chance that it's actually not that much. So keep that in mind as well, but we'll know on Tuesday. Okay, that's the case. And if it's more than 200, Microsoft made a massive mistake. Even with the bundled in games, it makes 0 sense because they took out what probably is the most valuable part. In Japan, they sold these things as 4K Blu-ray players, not Xboxes. So they took out something that even in Japan, they find massively valuable compared to the Xbox itself. Think about that. They can't even, no store in Japan is going to order this thing. It's over for that. So that's kind of the way I see it. Okay. Hold off till Tuesday. And then if it's $250, then we'll make fun of Microsoft, because that would make 0 sense, and I don't understand why they would do that. But thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think about this down below with the Xbox One Maverick apparently getting its price leaked, its details leaked, its images leaked, all by WinFuture. And let me know what you think about the possibility of the pricing. Does it have to be less? Does it have to be like $150? Or could it be $200 and get away with it? Or should it have more space? This is an all-digital system with a 1 terabyte hard drive. Shouldn't that be like a 2 terabyte drive for $200? There's no 4K Blu-ray drive in there, right? Add some extra value with a bigger hard drive. So that's something else to think about there as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if not, and I'll see you in the next video.